Setting up my meeting for YouTube Live. Yay. There we go. Yay.
Hey, everyone.
Okay, so again, welcome.
Thank you.
You are in a monumental place right now. This is our first ever success conversations on YouTube Live. We have been doing this thing with what were we on? We were on Facebook doing this, and so I'm so excited that you're my first. Hello.
Yay! I am excited as well. Thank you so much for having me.
Yay! This is my pleasure. So I'm going to give you your real introduction. I just wanted to make sure on the back end that I had all the technical stuff together.
Yes.
You know what? I want to tag her in this thing here because this is going to be pretty darn amazing. So you're no longer Maria Wills. You are now Maria Jordan. You are a Jordan.
Yes. Yes, I am.
So how is that? How has that been? We're going to start with that first.
It's been awesome. I feel like growing up as a Black woman, you're taught the independence and how to take care of yourself and all the power that you can do as an individual, but you're not really taught the strength of marriage and the strength of having that one with you who's going to push you past places that you ever thought you could go. The power of marriage is it's a lot, and I wish that and I hope that my story, your story will resonate to the youth to start really encouraging it again, because independence is nice, but it don't have nothing on the strength of some marriage.
When two become one.
Amen.
Listen, when two are on one accord, there is power in agreement. Okay.
Yes, it is.
There is power in agreement. So let me give you a real welcome. Hey guys. So you guys are butting in on our conversation, but it's for a good cause. We want you guys to be privy to this conversation because I have this amazing woman, Maria Jordan. Listen, she is not only an entrepreneur, but she's also a successful business corporate professional, as well as a mother, an author, and now a wife. Yes. And so she does each and every one of these. Yes, she does each and every one of these so gracefully. I love everything about what she's doing. You may have caught her talking to Jada Pinkett on Instagram, or some Real Housewife of somewhere, because that is what she does. She is a communicator. She speaks, she hosts events, and she's a commentator that just has a wealth of knowledge as it relates to business and family and children. And so that is what she does. I love her book. My daughter and I, we read it sometimes before she goes to bed. She has a book out now that is catered to young women, young ladies, I would say like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
yes,
that range.
Yes.
And my daughter loves the book. Okay.
I'm so glad.
Absolutely loves it. What is it? The Secret
Keeper. Perfect the way you are.
Yes. And and so my daughter loves that book. And so I just wanted to give you a proper welcome to say welcome to comfortable conversation, honey. This is very comfortable.
Yes, I'm chilling. I got my tea.
Yes. And so that's what it's about. Is about success conversations a little bit differently done than Succeed Intentionally podcast that we previously did. This still goes into our Succeed Intentionally podcast, but this is really focused in on those individuals that are out here making moves, that are successful, that have had received some form of success in one way or shape or fashion. And we're having real conversations on the mindset of a successful person, of the abilities, of the pressure, of the challenges, and of the future accomplishments to come. And so that's what today is going to be about. Guys, just sit back, relax, take some notes, and definitely feel like if you feel like you want to input, throw us some comments our way. Even if we don't get them today, we know we'll be able to reach back out to you if you are on the Anchor.fm platform, which is where we host Succeed Intentionally podcast. All right, so yes, we're back. We always do really well together, Maria, when it comes down to anything, events, etc. And I always feel like I've always felt like that was something that we were supposed to be doing together. And I've always felt like that. And I'm just glad and proud to see all of the things that you have accomplished just out there, just doing what you were supposed to be doing, your design. And so tell me, first and foremost, how does that feel?
It feels awesome. It feels awesome. But I will say, for a long time, I never really appreciated when I reached a goal. So I'm so goal driven that I don't, once it's done, it's like, okay, what am I gonna do next? And what's next on the list? But I'm learning now to really sit in that success and appreciate, and I've always thanked God, but really take a moment and see how it's changed you, changed the people around you, and just really enjoy the blessing. So I'm just getting to a place, probably, especially with everything that came with 2020, you really, had to learn how to enjoy your blessings. So I'm really now getting to that place.
That's good. That is so good. Being able to really just understand, I guess, who you are, that helps in terms of recognizing success.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because I remember, when me and you first met, my definition of success was very different. It was on the backs of some other people, not necessarily me. My success was, okay, if I just find me somebody that's got everything all together, I could just, piggyback off
ride on that,
and just ride on that. But because at the time I was ambitious, but at the same time I was just, it was a level of fear that I didn't recognize.
Yes.
And people would say, you're so fearless, but my motives were different then. My moves were different then. It wasn't until I really dedicated my life to God, that I really changed my thought process. Yes. And so I say that to say, it's like, when you know who you are, you recognize success differently. Like my true self understands what the definition of success is. So what would you say your definition at this point in your life of success? Like, what is that definition for you?
So in order for me to identify what success is, I had to first determine what happiness was for me. I have always been a people pleaser. So my definition of happiness has always been to make the people around me happy. And I had to take a moment and really learn what it is that I wanted and what it is that made me happy. And once I was able to define that, I could say, okay, well, what success is to me is being able to be happy with who I am, who my family is, who I've decided to let into my energy and space, who I spend my time with, and the lifestyle that I want, so whatever it is to get me to the lifestyle that I want. And that kind of really helped me define, okay, I feel successful right now. I feel extremely successful right now where I am in my life today. But I still have other goals and aspirations, but I feel successful as a woman right now.
Yes, yes. So your definition of success is based upon what your goals are, what you
Yes.
have experienced as those set goals, and it coincides with what I just said. When you know who you are, your definition of success will change, it'll drastically change. And so I can definitely dig that for sure, for sure. When I thought about this call today, I was thinking to myself, I want to ask, what does she want? Like, what do you want? What is your, like, when you think about the overall objective of life, different people have different objectives, and different people have different desires and such. But when it comes to you, what is it that you want out of your life, out of your career, out of your business? What do you want?
I really, I want to touch people. I want to change perspective, right? So I really want my next step as far as career. As you know, as you mentioned, I have corporate, and then I have my entrepreneurship. And say that again.
You're a corporatepreneur.
Yes, that sounds awesome. That sounds all, yeah. So in that regard, I'm always looking to grow in both. In regards to my entrepreneurship and being in media, I have my own radio show, but my goal is to have my own television show. I want a talk show. I want to be on TV, and I want to continue on the radio, and I want to broaden perspective in that way. And what I mean by that is just having healthy, respectful conversations that might be uncomfortable, but you can have them, and you can understand and respect different perspectives. I want to do that through my books as well, my children's books. I want to continue to write. I want to have books that my great grandkids can look up and read. And I also, I want to be successful in my marriage, and I want to help my husband and my kids to reach their goals. And, in regards to corporate, continue to move up the ladder and continue to show out that way too, Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a very healthy thing, to even desire. I was thinking about what you were saying. You're like, I'm a corporate now. I want to have my own TV show and all of those things. And that's the goal. And everything that you're doing right now is like little, what do you call it? Little breadcrumbs that leads to that particular role. With you being a woman of color and seeing all of the stuff that's happening right now in our society, in the world.
Yeah.
What are some challenges that you've faced with that goal, that TV show, that desire to do more, to rise up in corporate America? What challenges have you faced?
I guess so. 2020 has been interesting because I feel like, America has decided to crack a door that instead of pulling it wide open. So like, as far as corporate America is concerned, for example, with the whole Black Lives Matter movement, of course, we've all had the conversations and the corporate calls where everybody's on, what can we do to help the Black community and all of these things. And the door was cracked, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, I would have rather you either kept the door completely closed or open it wide, because as a Black woman in corporate America, I've been taught from birth on how to be a chameleon and how to make people comfortable with my Blackness. That's what we've been taught and trained.
Yeah.
So when you crack the door and you want to know now what the problems are, but you don't go put in the effort to fix it, it makes you truly question, you know, there's questions now. Where do I actually stand? My action, now that I've told you how I felt, what needs to happen, and it hasn't happened, is it important for me now to help you with making this happen? So it kind of shifts, it shifted. 2020 shifted in regards to corporate America, what my priorities were within the companies. And I think it did for a lot of Black people. So with every, now, then we have Miss Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, who is also showing me in 2020 of what we're capable of. You know, so there's been a lot. I mean, I never even knew that I had anxiety until 2020, you know? So, you know, mental health and things like that, you had to pay a lot more attention this year than you had to. So it has been a lot of growth, but also a lot of struggle. But I think the struggle is purposeful. I think that, you know, it's going to be an ultimate goal there, and it's going to strengthen us all. I truly believe that. So it's been difficult, but it definitely has broadened my perspective, but it's made me question what is my purpose here.
Yeah. So a lot of with the challenges, what I'm hearing from you with the challenges that you faced is just, okay, with all of this now, whether it's real allyship or fake allyship, come on, because a lot of the allyship that we see here now with the people of color and all this other stuff, sometimes it's not authentic. You know, it's not real. However, it's still advantageous. No matter if it's authentic or not, no matter if you are doing this huge thing from your company's perspective so that you can get more Black people to be on board with you. Or you're doing it because you really want to enrich and empower the lives of Black people, whatever your reason is, I'm going to use it now for my advantage.
Yes.
One of the things that I recently saw, and you made me think about it when you said your big goal, your big want was to have a television show eventually. You know, now you've interviewed individuals like Jada Pinkett, different housewives, reality stars, and rap stars and all the like. And with your current background and experience, what would you say is still, and I still say not even the challenge, but what do you think would be the biggest obstacle that you're going to have to like jump over in order to get there? Because what I've seen lately is a lot of the times it's more like whoever is able to bring in this number or that number versus true authentic talent, you know. I was really encouraged, and this is the first thought I was going with. I was really encouraged the other day when I was watching CNN, and my sister there was a sister up there, and she was a political commentator. And that's one of my goals too, not to be a political commentator, but be a career commentator on like CNN or something for jobs.
Oh, very nice.
And so that's one of my goals. But when I saw her on there, I was like thinking, that's how I think, man, she had to knock down some doors to get up there. She had to kick some people. She had to body slam some folks. Like, I know, sister, and she is not even light brown. She is chocolate.
Yes.
And so there was some obstacles that she had to jump. There was some maneuvers, some strategies that she had to, some alliances that she had to be strategic about. And so my question to you is, what do you foresee as something that you're like, okay, I gotta I'm gonna have to do this, like, or there's gonna have to be this, or I'm gonna have to jump over that. Like, what do you think is your thing that you're gonna have to do?
I think that, first, I believe that what's yours is yours. I
Yeah.
believe that, and I also believe in manifestation. And I believe that when you believe and know that something is yours, you need to appreciate the journey and just keep moving forward. And figure out and realize that the humps and the hurdles are to make you into what you need to be ultimately. But I think that I'm going to have to, some of the obstacles is going to be opportunity just in general with where we are right now. Not only that, a lot of people want to do what I'm doing, you know what I mean? So the obstacles are going to be really within my mind of keeping moving forward and continuing to believe that I'm capable and that it's mine already.
There you go. That's it. That's
yeah.
it. That's it. So that's what I was looking for, because what I wanted to show is that, to my question, which was, what do you foresee as an obstacle to get you to one of your big ultimate goals? There's these small goals that we have, like, oh, I want to make sure I finish my degree, or I want to make sure I, clean up my room before the end of the day. I don't know, something kind of easy,
Yeah.
But then there's these big fat outrageous goals that I call them the BFOGs, the big fat outrageous goals. those are the goals that have a lot of obstacle in front of them. Those are the goals that you have to be extraordinary to complete. And having a TV show, that's extraordinary.
Yes.
No matter how many little, people you see on, Instagram trying to do little rinky dinky stuff, when you want to do it real big for real, yes. That's a huge thing, right? Yes. And so I said that to say, one of the things that you finally said was self. Mm-hmm. You didn't talk about Keisha, Lamika, Tanya. You didn't talk about children, hubby, your job. You talked about yourself as being the biggest obstacle, the Absolutely. Biggest myself. I have to be consistent. I know I have to do this. I have to be this. I have to do it. I have to get me together. Everything was an accountability thing. And see, that's the difference between an average person and a person that is filled with success, who's filled with purpose, who is intentional. A person that's intentional realizes that it's you.
Exactly.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. Okay. Yes. Like nothing can stop you. The only thing that can stop me is me.
Yes.
Right. And so when you have that understanding, I feel like it makes everything else be like, okay, whatever. Okay, I gotta know. Boom, let's go either make it a yes, or we gotta move over here and figure out another person that we gonna talk to. But we gonna get it now. We gonna get
it. Absolutely.
And I feel like that's what we have in common. We have that tenacity, which is a word that I always use because I love that word. And it's just about being, I guess persevering and just tenacious, just never persistent, never giving in.
Yeah, so it's not the if, it's the when. When is this gonna happen? Not if it's gonna happen. So when you have that attitude, you just gotta keep going.
Man. So now that we understand, that process or of how you think in terms of obstacles and goals and things like that, what would you say is currently just working for you? Like, what's working for you? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's working? What is helping you not have to even, I mean, well, you're gonna confront those obstacles, but what's making you just keep hitting it, keep going? What's working?
I think that one, my support is very strong. My husband, my kids, my daughter, and being example for her is very important to me. And in regards to business, is just consistent quality content works for me. So not worrying about the numbers, who's watching, for me, it's been the content. A lot of the opportunities that I've been given is because you never know who's watching.
Come on now.
And sometimes it might not be 1 million people, but it's one that matters.
That's right.
Right. One that's mattered that's going to write that check.
Right.
So just for me, it's just me being consistent with quality content and caring about my content, being very consistent with my message and being positive and not feeling like controversy is the way to go, even though, it does sell, but that's not who I am. Being true to myself, those things work for me.
That's good. That's good. Really understanding what works is how you can continue to duplicate the process or heighten it. Or elevate it, to the next level. And so that's one of our questions I wanted to ask too, which would be, how can you elevate that? How can you elevate where you are now? You're being consistent, pushing out quality content. What are some things that you have in the works, or some things you haven't even thought about that we just talking it out right now?
Yeah.
What are some things that we can do to elevate where you currently are in terms of being able to overcome those hurdles and obstacles? What can we do to take it?
I think it's important to build a team. I think that it's important to have people around you who, I know what I specialize in. I know what I'm good at, but I'm not good at everything. So when you learn how to delegate and to put people on your team who specialize in the areas where you might have a little bit of weakness, I think that's what's going to really elevate me. And I think that's what I'm working on now.
Yes. Okay. So you are 100% right. You're 100% accurate. I'll say that because what I learned in my business it's been about 2 years now. What I learned from my business 2 years ago, and I had been in business. I was a corporatepreneur from 2014 until 2018. So for 4 years, I was working corporate America, just like you, as well as working my full-time business. In 2018, God called me to do this full-time. And so I've been doing it full-time along with ministry. Yes. And one of the things that I couldn't quite do was truly delegate. Like, I was comfortable with telling people what to do, but did I trust you to do it was the problem. And so I had in 2018, I had an aha come to Jesus moment. And when I had that moment, it took me a whole year to really set up the processes and the systems and everything in order for everything to be working smoothly. Now, in 2020, I can say even throughout this horrible time that we've been in, God has allowed me to triple what I made in 2018 into 2020. So what does that say? That says that creating a team, building a team was my missing piece.
Yes.
I was so used to doing things on my own, and I didn't trust people, and I was skeptical of people, and I was nervous that someone was going to get up and leave me. But God said that's what they're supposed to do. Yes. They're supposed to leave eventually. Like, they got to go on to the next level. Monique, come on.
Yes.
And so I share that story with you to say the hardest part of being a perfectionist, and the hardest part of being just someone who is really, really, really into their craft and honing into their craft is opening up the door for someone else to look at everything you have going on and trust them to see your process. Absolutely. And trust that you can't go out and duplicate it. Right? Trust that they won't be able to go out and do exactly what you just accomplished, or whatever. And there's a couple of tricks I have for you for that. And that was the one thing I realized was I gotta find individuals who match my gangster. Okay. And what that means is I'm not good with coordinating certain stuff. I'm not good with keeping up with administrative stuff. I will do it if I have to, if I'm in a corporate America. Yeah. But if it's my choice, which entrepreneurship is all about choice,
I'd rather not.
Yeah. I ain't gonna do it. So what I'm saying is I had to find someone who was analytical, who thought detail, not big vision. I'm big vision. I needed someone who thought detail. I needed someone who was attentive to the small things. I'm more like, this is what I see, and this is what's going to happen. That's me. Yes. So you have to find that person that is your really good counterpart. The person that really has the strengths where you are not as strong, not necessarily weak, but that's just not your judge. I don't want to sit and be doing social media all day. I don't want to be doing this all day. I have to have someone that I can trust. I can give you this tool. I can give you this resource. You got to know who. You can't hire a star. Yeah. That's another thing, in the beginning of my hiring and firing, I tried to hire stars. And I had to hire someone who was a worker bee.
A coachable,
doable person, someone teachable. But if you're already a star and you want to be where I am, we're not going to work out. Yes. This ain't gonna work out because you're trying to do something for you when I'm telling you I'm just trying to lay out the foundation. Yes. So those are my tips, and I got many more, but those are just the beginnings of my tips of how I've learned to have a team, how I've learned to really delegate, and how it blessed my business to another level just by doing that.
I love that.
So that's good. So I'm happy that was your answer, and I think that's what God wants. He wants us to be collaborative. He wants us to collaborate with each other. Absolutely. That's what we were created to do. We were created to multiply and prosper. You can't multiply one and one. Yeah. It don't equal one.
That's right. That's right.
Impossible. That's impossible. So that's good. So again, we're almost coming to an end of this conversation. And, like I said, this was something that I just wanted to, just really, really dig into you and what you're doing. My last question is something more along the lines of, in terms of your daily creative, your rhythm, what would you say is your rhythm, and how can someone else not duplicate your rhythm, but create their own rhythm so that they can be energized in certain areas, and so that they won't be drained of their energy in other areas? What's your daily rhythm?
Well, I start my day with something that I like. And I really think about, I'll sit down, I'll have me a cup of coffee, I might light my candle, thank God for my blessings, and take a moment to chill, and then I organize my day. What do I need to get done? What needs to be on the to-do list today? And I make it obtainable. Sometimes we get a little overzealous. Important. And then get mad when you can't accomplish these goals. So it's obtainable. I'm realistic with my goals, and I just know what I'm supposed to hit. And then I try to, as I mentioned before, I kind of figured out little small things that make me happy, that brings me into a good mood, whether it's a song, whether it's talking to a friend, talking to my daughter, whatever it may be. I make sure that when things aren't necessarily on those days that don't feel as good, because those will come, I try to implement those things. I think you definitely create your own rhythm.
Yeah.
You determine what your happiness is,
Yeah.
determine what's important to you, determine what success looks like to you, and literally take a step every day towards those goals. Implement those things that make you happy in your life daily, and think small. A cup of coffee makes me very happy in the morning.
Yeah. I get it.
Just be enjoying it.
Girl, it's the small things. It is the small things. I love that.
And then just really implementing those things throughout the day. And then I also will say being present within whatever you're doing within that moment. As a multitasker, sometimes things can juggle all around. But it's very important that whatever you're in, so when it's family time, when my husband is home and it's me and him, I'm going to give him my time, and I'm going to enjoy this moment.
Yeah.
And when it's work, it's work. When it's the radio show, it's the radio show, and designate your time accordingly.
Yeah. I was thinking about that when you were talking about just being present. And I was just thinking, like, good Lord, I'm trying to make sure she's on this YouTube. I got to get some more eyes while I'm doing this stuff, because I want to be all the way present. And then you said, just be present. So that was really on time. But yeah, that's a good thing to think. That's a good way to think. And that's a good rhythm to have of your day. Really understanding the small things. The small things are they can be easily overlooked, right? They can be easily overlooked because we're thinking like, it's small, but that's the same thing. As people in marriages, that we try to tell each other, our husband, our husbands telling their wives, and wives telling their husbands, it's the small things, baby. It's the small things. Close the closet door, or turn down
the bed.
Make the bed. Little things like that just make me happy.
Yes.
But that's so true. Even within ourselves, we have to start recognizing those things. Recognizing that. And I feel the same way in the morning. In the morning, if I wake up the right way, it is because of something small. It's either some kind of way that the sunlight hit. When I woke up in the morning, or it's that really good cup of coffee.
Yes.
It's the fact that I don't have to go look all the way around the room for my house shoes. It's right there, right? It's little things for me. It's the little stuff for me.
That's right.
But I love the fact that you recognize that and you implement it in your day.
Oh yes.
So that's something that a lot of women can take with them to the bank, which is, hey, recognize the small things and organize your day. I'm a big Sunday organizer. I don't consider it work. I consider it preparation. I consider it being obedient to what God has for me. Because a lot of people say, well, don't work on Sunday, but it is what it is. Sunday for me is still a rest day, but it's a day where I can quiet everything else and organize myself to prepare for the week.
Oh, very nice.
And so by Monday, I'm checking off stuff, and I'm making a whole lot of different tasks and goals for myself. I'm one of those. I'm one of those that you said, don't be overzealous. Don't be make all these. Okay, I'm gonna get to be Tyler Perry. Don't put that on your list. Yes. But no, you can't put it on your list like me. That's me. I'm copying who I am. That's me. I do make huge, big goals. And in order for me to achieve them. So even if I don't reach the big, huge, crazy goal, I still reach a part of it. So I still get happy.
Yes.
I trick myself. But yeah, so this has been an amazing conversation. I think that
Yeah,
a lot of individuals will absolutely be able to receive some success pointers and just and share some frustrations or share some, things that you currently have as, like you said, as obstacles that you have to get over. There's people
absolutely.
every day that had those same ones and feel the same way. And so I'm really excited about it. I'm excited about what's to come. I want to know more about your current projects before we go. What are you working on right now? And how can I support you?
Oh, yes. Well, I have my radio show, Afternoon Tea. It's on 1100 a.m. in Atlanta, as well as iHeartRadio. And we just created the podcast. So it is now on Spotify, Apple, Google, all of your podcast platforms as well. Um, I am also working on book number 2.
Yeah.
The Secret Keeper is a series. So the idea is to have these difficult conversations with your children through the book, just to open the dialogue. And so we're working on book number 2.
Yes.
And then I just launched Woman to Woman with Wednesdays with MJ, which is an IG live show where I'm able to talk to women and have very candid conversations about what it takes to be the woman they are. Similar to this, but definitely we're focused on success here. But yeah, it's just in general and just having candid conversations with women who inspire. So I just launched that, which has been awesome.
Yeah.
And how you can help me,
Yeah.
girl, I need a team. So if you know, I'm gonna, one of my goals is building that team, and I've been interviewing and speaking to different, even something as simple as PR stuff that that's not my thing. I can put it together, but it's not my thing. So yeah, so I am definitely looking for people who are positive, who respect my brand and want to be a part of it. So
yeah, I have some ideas for you that we can set up a call and go over some stuff as far as like how to really get a team at an affordable price.
yes.
And and be able to really, really take it to the next level. So I'm excited about that. So yes, I will do that. I will support you in that manner. And
Awesome.
thank you so much. Before we leave our success conversation, we always take a success selfie. So I'm going to take a selfie together with you. So just get ready.
Oh, okay. Hold on now.
You ready?
I'm ready.
We got it. All right. All right, guys. If you're watching on Anchor.fm, I appreciate you. If you're watching on Spotify or iTunes, Apple Podcasts. If you're watching on either one of those platforms, we just want to say thank you. Please make sure you leave a voice message if you have questions about Maria, if you have questions about being on her team, if you have questions about how she started in this game of hosting and communications and doing all the things that she does. So she is an amazing woman and she is an amazing wife. You guys have not heard the last of Miss Maria Jordan. Thank you so much, Maria.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, have a good one. And remember, life done on purpose is life done intentionally. Okay. All right. Peace.
Bye.
Girl, I forgot. Bye, guys.